when Victor Kusi-Boateng / Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi lost his case against me, with the High Court judge stating categorically that his conduct borders on criminality. See relevant portions of judgment attached. And that's what you dealt with.
That is what I dealt with.
Yeah.
And the way sometimes, Obi, you remember this matter, once we were in the Court of Appeal for some interlocutory applications, we left court, and I saw all over the news, Court of Appeal throws out, including publications from this outfit. Court of Appeal throws out Victor Kusi-Boateng appeal. Victor Kusi-Boateng, I was like, is it a different court that I went to? We were dealing with interlocutory, as we stand now. The appeal has not been heard.
Substantive appeal.
Has not been heard. And yet there were reports in the media, on social media, that the appeal has been thrown out. And I asked myself, what kind of, because if my opinion is that, or my thinking is that if you have an opportunity to use any media, either mainstream, to shape opinion, you don't feed the people with your emotions or your opinions first. You give them the truth, the facts. I always say we cannot have two facts. We can have only one fact. State the fact and let people know that this is your opinion based on the fact. And give people opportunity to also determine what their opinion will be. But you don't substitute your opinion for facts.
It is chargeful to take into consideration the judgment of the High Court. Now, was that judgment a part of the body of evidence?
That is what I'm saying. No. Why didn't they present that judgment? That is what I asked. Nowhere in their petition did they add that judgment. Nowhere in their petition did they file that judgment they are now relying on. If it was indeed binding and a ratio, not an obiter, as lawyers called it, they could have attached it.
But I know some failure to attach it, no. So Shraj feels relevant to come to our conclusions now. Could Shraj have referred to
they could have asked, because when we appeared before Shraj, you would see in Shraj's report that when they invited us and we appeared, we told Shraj that there are various aspects of the matter in court that were pending in court. They can procure all those. So they made reference to it in their report. If that's judgment, why the petitioner was the petitioner could have found it and said, listen, I have a judgment already, so this matter has become moot. You don't even have to investigate it. I brought it, but I have a decision from the High Court, so it has become moot. I'm withdrawing this relief. Let's rely on that decision. You did not.
And the tweet ends by saying it's most regrettable that Shraj appears not to be bothered about damaging its own credibility with this ridiculous whitewash of the criminal double identity scheme of Reverend Victor Kusi-Boateng / Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi. In any case, how does Shraj's claim that Victor Kusi-Boateng possesses one passport in a different name, Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi, whose date of birth is different from his Victor Kusi-Boateng date of birth, clear the double identity champion? Desperate propagandists must respect the intelligence of Ghanaians. No one can suppress the truth and win. Yes.
I mean, I do not intend to go. I'm not a social media person. I know how to tweet like that. So I want to read a letter dated 9th March 2023. On the request of the fourth respondent, Victor Kusi-Boateng's passport, I have compelling cause to believe that he possesses another passport in his Victor Kusi-Boateng identity, similar to how he successfully obtained a passport in his Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi identity. So far, I have secured his Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi passport, including a diplomatic passport, which I duly attached in my January 16. The search, however, continues for his Victor Kusi-Boateng. The person who tweeted this is the person who told Shraj that he doesn't have a passport
with the name
Victor Kusi-Boateng, contrary to paragraph 27 of his own petition. So I'm leaving. This is the facts. I'm leaving the conclusions out there.
Very well. Into part of the one meaning said, Assembly started to file a defamation suit.
Yes.
And where that's all court.
That's all court. I share trial.
Okay.
The plaintiff is about to close his case.
Plaintiff in this case near
Reverend Kusubati, yes. So his witness is in the box.
Okay.
We are expecting or hoping say Honorable so Ebeba Adaka. Yes, because he's the defendant. If he wants to.
Okay.
Yes.
And in terms of the defamation one, are there any aspect that's what court?
Also, you file a writ for defamation, no? You file a writ for defamation in privacy action. Those are the substantive matters. You file a writ for defamation, no? Time na believe no kwako serving no. Sa writ no ni believe ni encounter. And you file an application for committal for contempt. And that application for committal for contempt, again, the High Court did not go to the merit whether the action was contemptuous or not. Or say, because the Honorable says he was going to Parliament, the bailiff should not have served him.
Okay.
So, because the attempted service was breach of the Constitution, he will not go into the conduct that came after.
Okay.
That contempt, that decision in that contempt case is a subject matter of an appeal. And in the court who interlocutory rulings be sometime I appeal court or appeal that appeal is pending at Yebeko court on the 4th of December. So that appeal is pending. And an appeal in respect of the privacy matter now say judge only dismissed it on the grounds of capacity without going into the merits.
Yes.
That is also pending.
Also a court. Yes. Okay, that's interesting. At least will be a OTNO is now clear on where matters ni na ewo. But my yana say minim final way wow the betu Ghana fe yem fam komono emra eweye. I believe say there was a question wasn't be busa obi ametimi ebusa unless say for ewo question be ebusa on this na wa mayen ehu ekosi sense na higher sempa FM.
Senia uni me na yana sebi o yen sheda mpe bedroom kasepi. And so you see when you three you
one kasa you
born. Eti once same way fa yenina ye ho Ghana ni bia so you interested because you see sabi so bi na say you de me yonko you de me maybe ana asimesi nti ochine bi na bi akoye se na mekan no me de mi shade so say you don't who media na politics na yin de so we opportunity say we be frame opinion public opinion we be influence public discourse and I expect some level of candor say first me can say obi no one can't say ni antre mi ntimi na me kan me bo yen ni say sa no na ye de nimonyam bia baba ejuma no ho and you say you na yet ho na ye ka say okay nipa ba ko no nko na de say bio de bio kan say ni say na ade no so enya no kre ono ani document ni na yi a ode ba ye ni say na kire na say my opportunity ama public na hu me kre wo na mamboa me man
sure
ena sofo no so amigina mu ma no so mamboa no sabi ono on to me read 130 something pages nyina embe chete mu senia me no yate ase aye 164 yate ase aye chire mu na scratch si onye boni bia enso na nkrofo gu chire ka se da bi sabi waye boni yakoye say ena I saw some words as shabby describe charge na see say obi na wako influence charge me one charge man ruling on preliminary objections. It was blasted all over social media so charge aya there they will continue to defeat us blah, blah. The same charge Emma aspects of your reliefs they not give aspects of your reliefs who fresh charge also from some propagandists should not insult
the intelligence of Ghanaians.
You should harsh words against rats. It is a building to mean building institutions. So by aspect of strike reports no meaning in yarding. But must be a law no. And I'm a can in tia meaning in yarding show we do a law now saying that here man kase omoye propagandists. Because when you do that, you are attacking the institutions that we are building for political expediency or for popularism or however it is called.
Okay, I think I say It is most regrettable that Shraj appears not to be bothered about damaging its own credibility with this ridiculous whitewash of the criminal double identity scheme.
It's wow, can say obi 2 passports. It's as if a passport no bra. Who second passport? Who you friend say?
Is there a portion of the Shraj Act? Because a complainant be misleading Shraj to me recommended for criminal prosecution.
Interest will be such a question. Yes, indeed. Shraj Act no. Oma yebida. Shraj yebida. Say if o file complaint, now we intentionally misled Shraj dismiss a complaint now, or if they can decide to recommend for prosecution. In the instances where we pleaded that at the time of filing petition, now on himself Papa need 2 passports, which he has confirmed in his response to Shraj. And yes, no, kita 2 passports, and was started trying. To know him so need 2 passports, or say I no
establishing the element of intention.
Of intention and malice. Secondly, Tomoka Sapapana could disika 2.6 million. National Cathedral had released a statement and attached bank statements in a report to explain say and yet 2.6 so no new and so of course why and yakwa from 2023 January and yababisi here and a sema near Canada no and one a shot
about that conclusion.
Abeso no we have also propagandist.
There is this question, and I think it was also repeated in honorable tweets. The appointment of Sofo Victor Kusibuati in that name onto the board and a diplomatic passport given him as Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi. Why that?
The appointment letter. No?
Yes.
H.R. Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi.
Okay.
Also known as Victor Kusibuati.
Okay.
And within a statutory declaration no year no 2016, you know.
Yes.
Emma National Cathedral for say
okay.
So at every point, him saw yourself for Victor.
Sure.
And he was being appointed in that capacity as of Victor.
Yes.
But he disclosed to the appointing authority and gave them the statutory declaration.
Okay.
Which National Cathedral has provided.
Okay.
Say Ejina Wensu Tina letters 9. Say Honorable FIA agent answer my Foreign Affairs Minister the answer.
The
question of Parliament.
And even though Victor Kusibuati was on the appointment letter, Elias Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi, the diplomatic passport name of Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi was consistent with other
all the passports that he's ever had.
Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi. Okay, very well. I think it settles it. Mama Nase, Bobby, the BNE Besashina, Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Black had the course Senate. I think Mrs. Smith, or the course charge, defendants, who another respondents, now who clients,
now my client, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th respondents.
Oh, okay. And that includes Sofo Victor
Kusibuati, JNS Talent Center Limited.
Okay.
Sofo Johannes Eshen.
Okay.
And Sheila Eshen.
Oh, okay. Into basically for more in petition or the commercial Shraj. Now release when na OCK from Shraj. Now then also Shraj and your man.
The petition or the call Shraj. Now will be essentially for 4 reliefs.
Okay.
Reliefs no be for Sofo Victor my clients no. It be so for National Cathedral.
Okay. Okay.
Now with the protocol say permit na me reading your kind.
No problem.
I see it is the petitioner's prayer that the Commission 1 investigates the appointment of contractors for the National Cathedral project.
Okay.
Which petitioner believes were done without adherence to the public procurement procedures and laws.
Okay.
2. Investigates the payment of 2.6 million cedis and any other payments made to JNS Talent Center from state resources.
Okay.
3. Investigates the conflict of interest complaint against Reverend Victor Kusibuati in his dual capacity under separate identities as director of both National Cathedral and JNS Talent Limited and related matters. 4. To take appropriate action or steps for the remedying, restraining, correction or reversal of offending conduct or actions. And 5, to recommend sanctions for offending conduct or actions.
Oh, okay.
It's not main 1, 2, 3. We na any main
complaints to Shrad. I mean, sir, or the petition the call na Shrad notify mono. Who receive preliminary objection be? Now, objection was on what specifically?
Maybe you receive 2 objections.
Okay.
First objection, they say, the complaint about public procurement. We have a Public Procurement Act.
Yes.
That establishes the Public Procurement Board.
Okay.
That gives them the jurisdiction to investigate any alleged breaches of that
the act. Okay.
It's not says Shraj can say or investigate here. Shraj into one and be after their investigations. They will have to go back to the Public Procurement Board.
Sure.
So why do you start something that you cannot finish? And then another first objection.
Okay.
Second objection is say petition na ya file na. The third respondent ni actually the National Cathedral Board.
Okay.
And yes, lawyers say before somebody can be sued, you must have a legal personality. Until whatever charge is doing, their findings will affect somebody.
Yes.
But if you mention National Cathedral Board,
what animal is that?
What animal is that, to borrow your word? So either you are bringing the National Cathedral, which is registered as a limited by guarantee, or you mention the names of the directors.
Okay.
Now the reason being that if you conclude that there had been anything that has been done, and you are going to recommend sanctions or whatever,
sanction.
But who can say National Cathedral Board? Trasana. No one bought ni pakroni dia. One are serving with complaint. Now I responded. Those were the 2 main objections. You raise here.
And Shraj the more decisions on sa preliminary objection nearby. And can't they?
Overruling objection.
2 nina. Okay.
On the issue of procurement.
Okay.
Shraj say even though we have the procurement board, Shraj is investigating whether there has been any corruption.
Okay.
In the course of the procurement.
Okay.
If they find that there has been corruption, then it is within their jurisdiction. In respect of the board, Shraj say they are investigating the National Cathedral as a whole. And the National Cathedral is a separate legal entity. So the use of the word board doesn't make any difference. They are investigating the National Cathedral as an entity. Until the petition was forwarded to the Executive Secretary
of the
National Cathedral for the response. That was how they approached it.
Okay, on decision on that objection, you also accepted.
We accepted. That once they have laid down the ground rules, they've narrowed down, said they are investigating whether there's any corrupt practices arising out of the procurement breaches. And then 2, they are dealing with the National Cathedral as an entity. It's your forwarded petition to the National Cathedral office for their response.
Okay, very well. And now report on the original petition out. And maybe boy, now you reliefs, because I think relief the main way near the first 3,